The Palace and the Hut. King Vikramaditya was known for his justice and kindness. Even gods sought his help in setting issues. In his kingdom, no one was unhappy. His people loved him and were proud of him. Once, the Vikramaditya decided to build a palace on the riverbank. He ordered his ministers to survey the site and start the work. The laborers were put to work and in a few days the palace was ready. Before bringing the king to show the palace, the minister decided to take a final look. "Splendid!" the minister exclaimed, looking at the palace. Then suddenly his eyes fell on something and he shouted, "What is that? I did not see that before." All the laborers and the soldiers turned around. There was a hut just a few steps away from the palace gate. "What is this hut doing here?" shouted the minister and added, "And whom does it belong to?" "Sir, it belongs to an old woman. She has been living here for a long time," replied a soldier. The minister walked up to the hut and spoke to the old lady. "I want to buy your hut. Ask for anything," he said. "I am sorry, sir. I cannot accept your offer. My hut is dearer to me than my life. I have lived in it with my late husband and I want to die in it," the old lady said. The minister tried to tell her that her hut would spoil the charm of the newly constructed palace. But the old lady was strong in her stance and she was ready to face any consequences and any punishment. She refused to sell her hut to the king. The matter was then taken to the king. The wise and generous king thought for a while, and then said, "Let the old lady have her hut where it is. It will only add to the beauty of the new palace." Then turning to the minister, the king said, "Let us not forget that what seems ugly to us may be precious to someone else." The people then realized why their king was so highly respected by all the people and by all other neighboring kingdoms. The Monkey and the Juggler. In a mango orchard outside a village there lived a mischievous monkey. The whole day, he would jump from one tree to another. Thus the monkey kept on eating the ripe mangoes. The orchard keeper tried to trap the monkey. But every time the monkey escaped the trap. One day, the monkey wandered out to the nearby town. The town people are so busy. There is so much crowd here, the monkey thought. Soon the monkey was sneaking into houses and running away with eatables. By evening, he had made life difficult for the town people. The town is more fun than the orchard. I will live here, he thought. Days went by and the monkey was looked upon by the town people with terror. Here he comes again, they screamed when they saw the monkey. One day, a juggler came to the town. The people of the town approached him. "We want you to help us get rid of that mischievous monkey," they said to the juggler. The juggler said in return, "Do not worry. Get me some jars with narrow necks." When the jars of the size were brought to him, he put peanuts into the jars and placed them out on a field. The monkey became curious when he saw the jars. When he went and peeped inside the jars, he saw peanuts. "Yummy. Let me quickly grab the peanuts and run," he thought. He put his hand inside the jar and grabbed a big handful. But he could not pull out his clenched fist, as the neck of the jar was so narrow. If the monkey dropped some peanuts back into the jar, he could have pulled his hand out. But he was greedy. So he did not drop some peanuts into the jar. The town people trapped the monkey with his hand inside the jar. They got hold of the rope and tied him in a post. Then the monkey was sold to a zoo. That was the end of the greedy monkey. The meaning of true wealth. There was a girl whose family was very wealthy. One day her father took her on a trip to the country where he aimed to show his daughter how poor people live. So they arrived at a farm of a very poor family. They spent several days there. On their return, the father asked his daughter if she liked the trip. "Oh, it was great, Dad," the girl replied. "Did you notice how poor people live?" the father asked. "Yeah, I did," said the girl. The father asked his daughter to tell in more detail about her impressions from their trip. "Well, we have only one dog and they have four of them. In our garden there is a pool while they have a river that has no end. We've got expensive lanterns, but they have stars above their heads at night. We have the patio and they have the whole horizon," the daughter replied in delight. She further added, "We have only a small piece of land while they have the endless fields. We buy food, but they grow it. We have a high fence for protection of our property and they don't need it, as their friends protect them." The father was stunned. He could not say a word. Then the girl added, "Thank you, Dad, for letting me see how poor we are." This story shows that true wealth as well as happiness is not measured by material things. Love, friendship and freedom are far more valuable. The making of a lion. Once upon a time there lived four friends in a hermitage. They learnt many divine slokas and the way to perform various pujas and yajnas. After completing their studies, they were walking through a forest. There they came across a skeleton of a dead lion. They looked at it for a while. Ganendra, one of the four friends, said to the other friends, "Friends, let us test our knowledge. I will put the bones together using a magical verse." Anupam, the second friend, said, "I know a magical verse which can create all the organs at their usual place and cover the body of the lion with its skin." Subbar, the third friend, then said, "I can put life in the lion using my magical powers and verse." At this point of time, the fourth friend, Gopi, said to them, "Please, do not do that. Once the lion is alive, it will devour all of us." But other three friends were stubborn and they did not listen to what Gopi said. The other three friends went ahead with their words. Gopi ran and hid himself behind a tree. Subbar then recited his verse and the lion immediately came to life. The three friends looked at each other and smiled in satisfaction. The lion killed the three friends and Gopi saved his life and said, "Only if you had paid attention to what I said, you all would have remained alive. You should learn where and when to use the verses." The magic pot. Once upon a time a farmer, Gopi, lived in a village. He had few acres of land. One hot afternoon, the poor farmer was digging his field. All of a sudden, his spade hit something. Then he continued his digging. "It is a big metal pot," said Gopi. "It was big enough to boil rice for more than 100 people. It does not seem to be of any use to me. I will dig deeper. Maybe I will find something else," thought Gopi. He continued to dig. After he had dug for a long time, Gopi felt tired. "It is of no use. There is nothing in this field," he thought. Then at once, he threw the spade into the pot in frustration and sat under a tree to take rest for a while. After a while, when he got up to leave, he could not believe his eyes. There were 100 spades in the pot. "This is a magical pot. I will put this mango inside the pot and see what happens," Gopi thought. Then Gopi put a mango into the pot. To his astonishment, he found 100 mangoes in the pot. Gopi carried the pot to his home and kept in a secret place so that no one would become aware of it. After that, he put many things in that and everything became 100-folds. With that pot, he became a rich man. The king came to know of the pot and its whereabouts. The king was curious to know about it and he was a greedy king. I want to find out the secret of the magical pot. If it is valuable, it should be in the king treasury, the king thought. Then at once, the king ordered his men to bring the farmer and his pot. When the magic pot was brought to the king's chamber, he did not know what to do. The king thought, let me see what is there inside this pot which makes this pot so magical. He peered inside. Inadvertently, he slipped and fell inside the pot. When he climbed out of the magic pot, he was shocked to find that there were 100 kings. All the kings then started to climb the throne. They fought among themselves and died. The magic pot lay in the king's treasury. The foolish king took away the magic pot from me out of curiosity and eventually he died. This magic pot has killed the king himself, said the farmer, and he to be safe left the magic pot at the treasury of the king itself.